Mohan Bhagwat's call for 3 children, a detailed analysis. On 1 December 2024, Mohan Bhagwat, the chief of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, made a significant statement calling for couples in India to have at least 3 children. His reasoning was based on population science, specifically the total fertility rate, TFR. According to Bhagwat, when the TFR falls below 2.1, which is considered the replacement level of a population, society faces the risk of gradual decline, eventually leading to its collapse. He argued that for India's society to survive and thrive, it is essential for women to have a minimum of 3 children, as each woman's contribution to population replacement cannot be fractional. This call for 3 children is not entirely new for Bhagwat, as he and other RSS leaders have often raised concerns about population trends in India, particularly in relation to Hindu population growth. However, Bhagwat's specific reference to TFR and his emphasis on the need for 3 children marks a clear and direct statement on the issue, one that has invited both support and criticism. The RSS's long-standing concerns on population. The RSS, a right-wing Hindu nationalist organization, has long been concerned about India's population dynamics, especially the perceived imbalance between the growth rates of different religious communities. RSS leaders have expressed the view that the Muslim population is growing faster than the Hindu population, which they believe could lead to demographic imbalances, alter India's social fabric, and even threaten national unity. This sentiment has been echoed by many affiliated organizations like the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, VHP, and even earlier, RSS leaders like K.S. Sudarshan and Ashok Singhal. In the past, RSS leaders have been vocal about the need for Hindus to have more children, sometimes using provocative statements. For instance, Singhal suggested that Hindu families should have at least 5 children to ensure population stability. This focus on population growth as a means of maintaining Hindu unity has led to frequent calls for larger families, though not all RSS leaders have supported the same numbers. For instance, in 2015, when BJP MP Sakshi Maharaj called for Hindu mothers to have 4 children, Bhagwat distanced himself from the statement, asserting that decisions regarding the number of children should be personal, not a matter of political agenda. Bhagwat's new position, TFR and scientific basis. Bhagwat's latest statement incorporates a scientific angle, referring to the TFR concept, which is central to demographic studies. The TFR represents the average number of children a woman would have in her lifetime if current age-specific fertility rates remained constant. A TFR of 2.1 is considered the replacement level, meaning the population will maintain its size, assuming no major changes in death rates. Bhagwat argued that falling below this level would lead to societal decline, thus making his call for 3 children seem grounded in population science. However, while Bhagwat's reference to TFR is accurate in demographic terms, the prescription of 3 children as a solution seems oversimplified. A more nuanced approach would consider not just fertility rates but also economic conditions, access to healthcare, women's rights, and social development. Suggesting that every woman must have 3 children does not account for the complexities of individual choices, including financial stability, health, and personal desires. Ethical considerations and criticism. Critics of Bhagwat's statement argue that it is inappropriate to make such a blanket recommendation. First and foremost, the decision on how many children to have should be a personal choice, one that is influenced by individual circumstances, financial resources, and personal values. Imposing a standard number of children contradicts the principles of freedom and autonomy that are essential in a democratic society. Women's reproductive rights, in particular, must be respected, and it is concerning that a political figure of Bhagwat's stature would suggest otherwise. Further, critics argue that Bhagwat's comments could fuel division and exacerbate communal tensions. By linking population growth with religious identity, the RSS stokes fears of a Hindu demographic crisis and frames it as a matter of national survival. This not only risks reinforcing divisive rhetoric, but also undermines the country's diversity and secular values. India is home to a wide variety of religious communities, each with its own distinct demographic trends. Framing population growth solely through a religious lens ignores the broader socio-economic challenges that impact all communities, such as poverty, access to education, healthcare, and family planning services. Additionally, the concern over population imbalance overlooks the fact that population growth in India has already begun to slow. According to government data, India's fertility rate has dropped significantly in recent decades, and the country is on track to meet its population stabilization goals. The focus on increasing the population may be misplaced, as the real challenge lies in ensuring sustainable development, better healthcare, education, and economic opportunities for all citizens, regardless of religion. The bigger picture: population policy and national development. The debate around population growth in India cannot be separated from broader issues of national development. While Bhagwat's call for 3 children might seem like an immediate solution to what he perceives as a demographic crisis, the country's long-term success depends on more than just numbers. It depends on fostering economic growth, improving infrastructure, addressing income inequality, and ensuring that every citizen, regardless of their religious background, has access to opportunities. A comprehensive and inclusive population policy should focus on improving family planning, ensuring healthcare access, empowering women, and addressing issues like child malnutrition and maternal health. Rather than fixating on a specific number of children, policymakers should promote voluntary, informed decisions about family size, while ensuring that all citizens have the resources and support they need to make those choices. Conclusion: right or wrong? In my opinion, Mohan Bhagwat's statement, while grounded in demographic theory, is problematic for several reasons. First, it overlooks the personal, social, and economic factors that influence family planning decisions. The notion that every woman should have 3 children ignores the diversity of individual circumstances and undermines the autonomy of women in particular. Secondly, framing population growth in religious terms fuels divisive politics and detracts from more pressing issues like healthcare, education, and social welfare. While it is true that India must carefully manage its population growth, the focus should not be on arbitrary targets for childbearing. Instead, the emphasis should be on sustainable development, empowering families to make informed decisions, and creating an inclusive society where everyone, regardless of religion or background, can thrive. Ultimately, a policy based on cooperation, understanding, and respect for individual rights will be far more effective than one rooted in divisive and prescriptive rhetoric.